But
No, agreed.
yeah, we spoke about Solskjaer keeping his job. One of the main like candidates to replace him has already gone to Tottenham. That deal
Yeah,
seemed to happen so quickly. And I thought they were further down in the because I looked at the table thinking they were like right near the relegation zone, but they're actually not. They're not that far off the top
no,
four at all. So they could
no.
like get they could literally get top four, and it's not even that like
Oh,
impossible.
100%. That's the only manager signing. I really liked Conte before he went to Spurs.
Mm.
I think he's so good. A lot of people say that he doesn't stay there long, but I mean, if you look at it, Chelsea, like we said in the last episode, Chelsea managers don't have too long of a reign anyway, no matter who it is.
Mm.
Inter Milan, obviously, he won the league with them, and then got they started selling all their best players, so he didn't really
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
choice. Sort of fell out. So I think if he's given the right tools, I think he can stay at a club for a while. I think how long was he at Juventus? At least 3, 4 years, wasn't
3 years. I think was
he?
it
Yeah,
4 years? It might have been 4 years. 2012 to actually 3 years. I think
yeah,
2011 to 2014. I think.
yeah.
So
So I think he's going to be a real problem. I'm annoyed. I thought he would have done well at Man United. Obviously, some Man United fans didn't want him just because of his play style, but I think it's so underappreciated what he done because if you remember, like when he first came to England, he went with the back three with Chelsea, and since then, I think you could pretty much say that every team in the league's tried playing it.
yeah, yeah, he's on who
Like I
started it.
think
Yeah,
that revolution is, I think, so like overlooked. Like how he got everyone. I remember that season in the league when they won the league. The amount of teams playing five at the back, three at the back,
yeah,
whatever you want
yeah,
to call it, was ridiculous. So I think he'll do good things at Spurs, which I don't say too happily, but yeah, it didn't because he was meant to go. Well, he got offered to go down to summer. I'm sure he rejected it, but
yeah, yeah. I
now he's
reckon because
there.
if you look, he only signed a contract till the end of next season. So I think he's thinking of this job as like an
Mm,
intermediate job because a lot like Pochettino had that as well,
yeah,
where because it seems like all these managers are waiting for the Man United job and it just never comes up. Like if Pochettino was waiting
no,
for for Man United's job for ages, and then he probably thought, "Oh, I'll just go PSG." I think that's what a lot of managers are thinking now because, like, there's if you think
yeah,
about if you're a manager, the top jobs you want are like at the moment you don't really want the Barcelona job, Man City and
no,
Liverpool that they aren't available yet. Then you've got maybe
mm,
Chelsea, Man United, Real Madrid, possibly Bayern Munich. There aren't that many, so you've got to like pick wisely,
no,
and you don't want to. Like, just say Conte goes to I don't know if he signs. Just say he goes back to Juventus and signs like a 3 year deal. He may miss like
mm,
the job he wants in between. So it's a bit of a
yeah,
weird one with managers because you've got to time it. But I think Conte is clever
yeah,
because he knows with the Tottenham job he can't do any worse than what's already happened. Like, if he gets top
no,
four, it's going to be a
no,
good job. So it's basically the perfect job for him. Even if he gets like
yeah,
fifth, people aren't going to say, "Oh, it's a failure." He can't really fail. Like so,
no.
it's
That's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never thought of that, but I think he'll turn him into.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, it was weird with Nuno because like it seems like to be going so bad. They're not doing terribly, but I think it's a lot of just the play style. I think they
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
scored. They haven't won a game by like 2+ goals or some. There was some crazy stats since like last year, February or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Because they started off
Um,
quite well, didn't they? I
yeah,
think they
yeah. Well,
won.
he got manager of the month in
Yeah,
August.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
So
That's so funny to think that, and it's only
yeah,
like 10 games in as well. Normally Tottenham don't sack managers that quickly, but
no,
I think they just realised, there's no point. They're basically in the same position as Man United, but the Man United owners, I don't think want to do any work. Like the Man
no.
United owners are basically, when you're in school and you're on a C and you just can't be arsed, you're like, I could put in a lot more effort, but I'm only going to get a B. But that's
But
basically, yeah,
you'll pass. So
yeah.
no, I agree.
But even like I could see Conte. The only reason I can't see Conte and Tottenham challenging for the title is because Klopp and Guardiola are still there. I think they're
Mm,
both going to leave 20. I think it's 2023. Didn't they come out and say the other month? Maybe
okay, I haven't seen it, but
I think Guardiola said 2023 he's going to leave City, and I think Klopp
right.
said either 2023 or 2024. It's not that far. Well, it is still quite far away, but
Yeah, he's still got a
like
few years, but it will come
yeah,
around quick.
yeah. Like, I wonder what's
So,
going to happen with it. I think Liverpool will struggle after Klopp because that side
mm,
seems so well built for him,
yeah,
and their squad individually isn't that great. Like
no,
particularly like Salah's 28, 29, Mane's 28, 29,
yeah, they're
Firmino's
all
pretty
sort
old.
of getting on in a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah,
City, yeah. I think a good manager for City would be Xavi after. I think he's gone. Has he gone to Barcelona yet?
I don't think yet, but that was the meant to be the most likely, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
I can see that working, to be fair. But
yeah, because I did a video on him and I was looking at his because he has a video on the coach's voice where he just breaks down his whole tactics, and
right, okay,
it's basically Guardiola, but
yeah,
he just seems like a guy. That's why I like managers who like have a clear philosophy rather than
mm,
managers who just sort of go in and out. Like with Nuno, Nuno was playing a back five with Wolves, and yet
yeah,
the Tottenham side seems perfect for a back five. They've got the two wing backs,
yeah.
Emerson and Reguilon, even like having Kane and Son as a front two, but for some reason he didn't use that. But
No, that was interesting. Yeah, because even like Matt Doherty was meant to
mm,
be getting back involved. Everyone was saying about that when he joined, but yeah, never really came about.
oh yeah, that was a weird transfer, wasn't it, Matt Doherty? Was that
Yeah,
Mourinho? That was Mourinho, wasn't it?
Mourinho, I think, yeah, but then just never
Mourinho
played him.
loves a weird transfer. Like I remember he
I think it
signed
was just because they were
Matip.
stuck with Aurier, and he just thought, you know what, just
Yeah,
get me anyone in. So, but yeah, I think, like you said, I think Man City, I think they'll be all right. I think they've just got such a strong squad that even if
mm,
they have like a year or two off where they maybe come
mm,
fourth or something like that, I think then they'll push back up to be challenging because their squad's just so good. Obviously, they've got a lot of like good youth players coming through now as well.
yeah, yeah,
Liverpool have as well, but I think, like you said, the core of their squad is getting on, and I just again, if you was going to say which one would drop off more, it'd definitely be Liverpool, but you don't know. It depends who comes in for both, I suppose.
yeah. Yeah, most of it does depend solely on the manager. If you think about how dominant Liverpool and Man City have been, it's basically all
Mm,
down to the manager. So you
yeah.
think boards would look at like Man United would look at that and be like, oh, that means instead of spending 150 million on players, we should just go out and get the best manager possible. But for some reason, they don't do that. Like,
No,
yeah,
because I think, yeah, like everyone, just wants new players, new signings. But it's like, I mean, look at David Moyes at West Ham. He's made a few signings. Don't get me wrong, but he's just made signings that we need. Like we haven't made 10 signings. We've made
yeah, yeah,
two in one window, or one in one, or like three in the
mm,
summer. I think. It's just about getting the right people in, and you like with the right manager, like you can turn it around. And Man United have already got quality players, and it's obviously Maguire's in pretty bad form at the moment. But you see how good he is with England. He's obviously a good player, but
yeah,
it's just not working. Whether you can solely blame that on the manager, I don't know. But it definitely has a part in it. So yeah, I do agree.
yeah.
I think they should just go and just get the right manager. But I think they're just so short sighted with it.
Yeah, because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guy said your attack is defined by your best forward, but your defense is
Mm.
defined by your worst defender, and that is kind of true because there's so many teams that have like a one weak link in their back line,
Mm.
like a poor like do you remember Chelsea when they had Marcus Alonso and he kept making defensive mistakes,
Yeah,
and even
yeah,
for
yeah,
Man
yeah.
United, Harry Maguire's just been terrible, and then
Hmm.
it seems like it's but and also with the attack, like one play, like think about what Salah does for Liverpool. Like he basically just gives them the best attack in the league because they got that
Yeah,
one player.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
No, 100%.
but
Yeah, I've never thought about that. Yeah, but it's a good point.
because even like Man City don't really, apart from De Bruyne, but De Bruyne has not been at the same level he was. But if you look at their combined team, even against Man United, the individuals aren't like. I think Man United, if you just went player for player in the attack, would probably win that. Like Ronaldo would get in at centre forward.
Yeah,
Maybe you'd have De Bruyne. De Bruyne would probably be the cam over Bruno Fernandes. Then
yeah.
even
Just
like
think for the longevity. Yeah,
yeah, maybe Mahrez gets in, but even like Jadon Sancho, Rashford, but you can see the difference in the attack just from the style.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'd say it's pretty close with the wingers. To be fair,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Mahrez hasn't done much this season. So yeah,
yeah.
no,
Mahrez is a weird one
you're not
because
wrong.
I think Mahrez at a different side. Maybe like if he'd been, I think that's what the problem if you sign for a Pep Guardiola side. Like they're basically, he does
Mm.
a good job of like integrating it into a whole team rather than being individuals. But it means if you are an individual player, you
Yep.
don't get like the accolades. Like Morris was, I think
No.
last season he was like insane. Like when you watch him individually, and same with Drummond, they had Sane there, and he was barely
Yeah, it
playing.
was literally last season. That's what I got in the fantasy team, and he's just not been playing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why I always avoid Guardiola players in fantasy football because it's so annoying when when you see they've got
Mm.
Norwich and you're like, oh, I'm guaranteed points, and the guy starts on the
Yeah.
bench and you're like fucking hell. Yeah,
See,
you can never
roulette's pretty
trust
brutal
Guardiola.
this year as well. The defenders, the defenders for
Oh
Chelsea
yeah,
this year is pretty much Pep roulette as well. So
oh yeah, I know. Because I got Christensen in, and I look at the thing, and he's not even
yeah,
played. And also, defend.
Mm.
The only good thing with defenders is they don't get subbed on often. But the annoying thing
Yeah.
is when Guardiola will sub on a defender,
Mm.
like in like the 80th minute and he's not getting any. I'm just like, just
Yeah.
do us all a favour.
Yeah,
But
yeah, leave him out so we don't have to play him and we get someone off the bench.